Let's now move on. As Clark's rethinking his... No, he's getting his pen. I thought you were having a spring cleaning mid-show. He's grabbing his pen. I have my pen too. I found a pen. If anybody watched Sunday's show, I do have one now. And we are going to be doing a Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling finishers.
4.
Archie, Big Arch, you kick us off on this one. Who is on your Mount Rushmore list?
So I'm going to go a bit of personal and obviously a bit of wrestling heritage as well. I'm going to go for, obviously, the first one's got to be the RKO. I mean, even outside of the wrestling sphere, the RKO is very, very well known. Kind of out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're seen everywhere. Even to somebody that doesn't watch any wrestling, if you mention RKO, they'll know that. So the RKO is one. The GTS is another one. Because
Clark's reaction says it all.
I knew you'd do that. But look, I love CM Punk. I'm one of the biggest CM Punk fans at Wrestling Republic. And the GTS to me, it's a finisher that has been a part of my childhood growing up and watching wrestling. And also I just think it looks really cool. And when somebody can sell it well, it looks as good as any finisher. The AA attitude adjustment, that's got to be on there. And then the last one is the Styles Clash. I feel like it's iconic. AJ Styles, again, obviously not as big of an AJ Styles fan as Ben, but he's one of my favorite wrestlers. And Will Ospreay has shown us more now that you can be a lot more innovative with the Styles Clash than we think. So yeah, that's my Mount Rushmore.
That is true. I mean, it is such a cool finisher for sure, the Styles Clash. And to your point, obviously, the Styles Clash. I was actually, when I was first naming my AJ Styles fan page back in the day, was trying to make it related to the Styles Clash. That's how much I loved the name in the move. It was brilliant.
What name did you end up with?
WWE Styles fan. That's what got us our first 5K followers on
That's
the
how we started,
Republic
dude.
Instagram page.
Yeah, we're AJ guys.
Yeah.
We're all AJ guys here at the...
We are. To join, you have to like AJ Styles.
Yeah, we're all AJ fans here at Wrestling Republic.
Yeah,
so.
we've got to be thankful. It's like
everybody's got to put Styles Clash on the Mount Rushmore.
Thank you, AJ.
Yeah. I mean, basically, when we have an office, we're going to have a statue of AJ Styles in the hall. Just
small bronze one, though.
And you have to, you have to bow
an artist to
as well.
chisel it.
That's about as shameless as Vincent Company.
We're not buying one that's already made. We're getting an artist to chisel it.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. Clark, what about you? What is your Mount Rushmore list?
Okay, I'm gonna rip a bunch of honorable mentions first because I have too long of a list. So first honorable mention, I'm gonna give you the Vader Bomb because I loved that one. Ooh. Second honorable mention, the Tombstone Pile Driver did not make the list, but very close. Unfortunately, left on the cutting room floor. Another one though, the original Mandible Claw. Shout out Bray Wyatt, but really, I'm talking about Mick Foley Mankind's Mandible Claw. Yes. As a child, I was terrified of that. I was like, hand in my mouth? Ooh. Not a fan. Next one, though, the Jackknife Powerbomb.
Ooh.
Kevin Nash, Diesel, one of the most protected powerbombs of all time and delivered in a unique way compared to other powerbombs.
I love using that.
Another one, Razor's Edge. And last but certainly not least, Goldberg's Jackhammer. Now on to my actual list. The Jackhammer as a finisher, it was so protected, and as a kid, every time you hit it, you knew it was over. No one was kicking out of the Jackhammer. When I was a kid, Ben, growing up during the streak with Goldberg, when it came to finishers, what was the most powerful move in wrestling at that time? There was no debate.
Just lands you on your back.
Nobody kicked out of it, and he also would get people that you shouldn't get vertical for a suplex and then turned them over and slammed them with the violence he did.
It hurts him more than it hurts them.
Better than you think. That's not true. Either way, on to my list. You and your stupid age bias. Let me talk about my list here. I'm going to give you the RKO because it is that good. He elevated the Diamond Cutter in a way that was off the charts. My next two are interesting. My next one is Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music. Not the super kick, but the original super kick.
Where he tunes
One
up
of the
band.
greatest finishers of all time and just so good. He could hit it from anywhere. He could hit it at any time. He also could set it up, tune up the band in the corner. It's one of the most versatile finishing moves of all time, and that's what I love about it so much. This one, I think, is a stone left unturned on all of our lists, and I'm super glad it came to my mind. That's why I changed my list last minute. The man that invented the DDT, Jake the Snake Roberts.
Whoa,
Nobody kicked out of the DDT. And I love the DDT as a move. There's a reason everybody's a copycat now. It may not be protected anymore, but it is a compliment to the originator of the maneuver, and that is Jake the Snake Roberts. So he deserves his spot on Mount Rushmore, absolutely, because when your move becomes a regular move in people's move sets, that means they saw it. Absolutely. And last but certainly not least, if you don't have this one on your all-time finishers list, it's the kick in the stomach. It's the Stone Cold Stunner. Come on, guys. It's the Stunner. Somebody throw me a beer. Where's the crowd at? Steve Austin, the best finisher of all time. The crowd would pop once in anticipation, and then again when the move hit. It is absolutely the best finisher of all time, and we didn't have to rank them when it comes to our Mount Rushmores, but if we did, it's the best finisher of all time, and there's no debate about it.
Wow.
I only left it off my list for one reason, and that's because if you tried that in real life, that was
You weren't born.
not work.
It's because you weren't born.
Well,
Just
as
know
we've
that.
seen. But I do have to correct you on one thing, Clark, because like Americans often do, you've claimed credit for something which was not made in America. The DDT was actually being done in both Mexico and the UK over a decade before Jake the Snake was actually doing it.
Who made the DDT?
Classic.
Stolen.
Jake,
Classic Clark.
look
Classic
at the
Clark.
fans. Look at the
So
fans.
the argument
the
is
chat.
that Goldman was they believe was the first one to do it.
Right. I'm not saying he invented the move
That's
itself.
exactly what you
He's
said.
the one that made it. I did say it, but I didn't mean it
Quote, unquote.
literally. Forget it.
No, you are right. He made it famous. I'll let you off. But now on to my
Also,
list.
it wasn't called the DDT.
No, it wasn't. That was he named
And
it. That,
because you know why it's called the DDT.
because it's
Google
the,
what DDT is.
I don't know what it means. I can see it right
a-
on my screen.
It's poison.
Oh, because Jake the Snake.
Oh.
Oh,
I like
maybe
that.
I'm not so silly.
He invented a good name for it. I'll tell you that. Probably claims he invented the poison too. But on now to my Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling moves, because of course I've got to go for the basic one, the RKO. I mean, out of nowhere, the best finisher of all time, hands down, no debate, unless you're Clark and think it's a Stone Cold Steve Austin stunner. But up next, I want to go for another simple one, but at the end of the day, it would literally kill you. People have died from this move, and that is the stomp. It is lethal, curb stomp, whatever you want to call it. It is lethal,
Right.
it is simple, but yeah, I mean, you die. Third, I've got to go for, do you know what? I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm going to go for John Moxley's Death Rider, because this is the DDT, but better. Why? Because he lifts you up and then puts you down. It's even
Took it
more
from Cactus
brutal.
Jack.
Pardon?
He took it from Cactus Jack.
Well, John Moxley does it better. But up next, last but certainly not least, I'm just going to go. It's basic, but again, another one which can kill you, the pile driver. At the end of the day, nobody's kicking out of that. in
Gotch
real life.
style? Stump puller? Which style?
Gotch style, I think, is the easiest to actually execute. Package, I
think
feel
it
like you
is.
couldn't really do in real life. Like they
I was
escape
thinking
by then.
stump puller is my favorite, where the old school, speaking of Cactus Jack, pull the back of the pants.
Yeah, actually, that's probably the easiest. Yeah.
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 I mean,
fair
honestly,
enough.
I love the pile driver. I almost had it on there.
We'll next time we do a wrestling public meetup, we'll experiment it. But up next,
Let's
well,
not. Let's
next up-
not.
I do want to give an honourable mention though to one move, and that move is Baron Corbin's End of Days, because that finisher is
Yeah.
actually the out of nowhere ness of it as well. It's so
That's
cool.
really. He
So
got a
cool.
lot.
Yeah.
He got a lot of heat for using that move as well. Didn't
The
he?
end of days is money.
And he got, honestly, I think that saved his career about 5 years. I think he'd been released 5 years earlier
Honestly.
if it wasn't for that finisher being so over.
And you in the comments with Bossman Slam's a good one too.
Yeah, that is good
Yeah.
there. I make beats as Cactus Driver FTW. And we got numero 1 saying, my Mount Rushmore is the Poke of Doom, the Cobra, the 6th move of Doom, and Rikishi's.
Wait, what was John Cena's lightning punch? That's the dumbest one. If we do worst finisher of all time,
That's
when
what
he
it
did
was, the 6th move
That's,
of Doom.
yeah, 6th move of Doom.
Yeah, that is the dumbest thing
It
anyone's
sucked.
ever done.
He had it for like a week, and he realized how rubbish it was, and he was like, you know what? We'll ignore that. We'll take that off the out of the
Nobody
move of
does
Doom.
that. Swanton Bomb's a good call.
Isn't that from like an anime
good
or
call.
something?
I think so, but in wrestling, especially at his age, I know you're going to put the ages.
No, obviously
but
I know
at
it's
his
it
age
looks
doing
unrealistic.
It
I'm just
looks
saying.
so dumb.
You know what?
But yeah,
I
it
would
did
throw
look
in
dumb,
another
yeah.
honorable mention, by the way. A lot of people have done the 450 splash, but Juventud Guerrera
Oh,
in
great shout.
WCW, the original, not the original, a lot of people have done it, but his was as good as anybody's. And then like the horn song would play is great.
Claiming finishes again.
Well, there we are.
I'm just
guys.
like giving
Actually, no,
people inventor
DCX
rights.
Warlord says play more Swanton Bomb, go and the kill.
Oh, Swanton Bomb's an underrated one.
Claymore's good too. A kick to the face.
Yeah,
You
but
can't really go wrong with
Swanton Bomb. I think I didn't grow up in that Jeff Hardy era, so I wasn't really a Jeff Hardy kid. But if I can see why you
The Swanton was wicked for sure.
Mhm.
Honestly, I thought the Twist of Fate was cool. For a variation of
the
a cutter.
Twist of Fate.
Twist of Fate's underratedly good from both Hardys.
Yeah.
And I would even also add, I would say a lot of people said the spear over on Instagram, so I just did want to address that. I'm sorry. Like there's just like a lot of comments.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good spears. I think the hardest part is like that debate becomes who has the best one.
It's Braun.
Bronze isn't a spear though. That's just a football tackle.
It is a spear.
That is not what a spear
is.
No, there's a difference because
there isn't.
No, what he does is shoots a takedown and stays low, but his feet don't leave the ground before yours do, and then his feet leave the ground as he's over you. No, what I'm saying is he has the most. Listen to me. He has the most leverage on the maneuver of anybody.
This is waffle.
I wouldn't even call it a spear because he hits him so hard. He has more. First off, if he gets airborne before he hits you, then the move doesn't hurt. I wouldn't want
to take. Say that to speed. Say that to speed. I wouldn't want to take that. I wouldn't want to.
No.
Recovered.
His feet are on the ground as he connects, and then he flips. That's the scary part, is the force of him pushing off the ground and using his legs for leverage, which leverage points in wrestling are the most important thing for getting a guy on the ground. That's why I don't even consider his a spear, because you look at like Edge and Bobby Lashley and guys like that, they get airborne. They're like horizontal by the time they connect with you. Braun Breaker is slam spearing.
Should we get the VAR lines out? VAR lines out for Clark.
We might have. I don't even think we need to. It's so he just does a spear better. It's as simple as that. Clark's now become Archie. This is what's happened.
Yeah, you know what? By the way, you mentioned tackling technique and other stuff like that. We're gonna do on the next trip. We'll drill spears. See how that goes.
Clark's now become one of these like old-time analysts, where it's like, oh, it's not the way the spear used to be back in my day. That's what's happening here.
There's a difference between cutting somebody in half with full leverage at full
Clark's
speed
just the American Roy
and diving through the air to hit somebody in the middle of their body. There's a huge difference.
Sorry, says the MJF kangaroo kick.
Did you say your last one, Ben?
Yeah. RKO, Stomp, Death Rider, and Pile Driver.
Okay, the other thing that I noticed also, by the way, and I know we're going long though, but how about no submissions? No submissions.
Figure 4, that's a good shout. I'm not a submission guy, but that does bring us to the end of the podcast. Thank you, Archie. Thank you, Clark. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow to talk a little bit of AEW. Thank you to everybody in the comments. We really appreciate you watching.